Hello and welcome to another video. So this time it's going to be a bit of a settlement tour. I've been building up this red rocket for a little while on and off and decided today was probably the day to show you where it's at. So there is a little bit of backstory to this, kind of. So as you can see, of course that's always a good day. As you can see, that is a Minutemen guard. In my little story, I guess, there is a kind of link to the Minutemen, and the owner of this particular compound has a deal with them to help protect the compound in exchange for possibly, help with the vehicles and supplies, fuels, that sort of thing. So there is lodgings here, and obviously leasings of places and places to stay and things. A lot of defense. This area here is kind of like just a rubbish burning area, basically. Any excess rubbish just to get rid of, would be piled up there and burned, effectively. Of course, we have these lovely lights on every post. Didn't want to go fully electric with this. I decided to keep a little bit of natural ambience. But should you be approaching from Concord up this road, you'll be greeted with this fella overwatching you. Another Minutemen guard. Basically defending with a fat man. So you wouldn't want to be messing with this guy, although he's got an amazing mustache. Look, there it is. Looks like he's been in a few rounds with Mike Tyson, but he's doing his job. So I've tried to make the fences and things a little bit more higgledy-piggledy, for lack of a better word. Just a bit more texture, really. So we've got two turrets protecting the gateway here, both with ladders there, just so you can get up there for maintenance. And we've got this guard here.
That place is nothing but trouble.
It is. Shotgun in the background and some bits and bobs lying on the floor there. And then over here we've kind of got a little area where there's a few junky bits. The idea was that this little vehicle here is going to be transporting sort of fuels and stuff like that in their barrels. So this guy kind of does that. Who looks like he's seen better days. Not surprising, considering you're carrying all sorts of chemicals and fuels. But this primarily here is what this settlement does. So the guy who owns this, it's a garage that you can come to and get your apocalyptic vehicle made. A bit of a Mad Max kind of concoction thing going on. Obviously the vehicles have been converted to use more fossil fuels due to the fact that other things are not readily available. But as you can see, this one's more of a sort of transport vehicle, but very well protected in case of being raided out there in the Commonwealth. So this bit here, you may be wondering, you'll come in through the main gate over here, and you would, keep doing that. You would come up here with your vehicle and travel all the way along. Just a few decorations, and again just trying to make the fences look like they are made up of a bit more than just the bog standard fence, really, just give us some texture and more things to look at. But you would eventually drive down to here. As you can see, this guy's already pulled up, and as you can hear, the engine is running, kind of, hence the smoke coming out of the altered exhaust. So this is kind of a little van, got some containers and things up there, coming to collect the water, basically. So it's an old Vault-Tec van that's been converted, and this is the water supply, which you can come and resupply yourselves with, your settlement, or if you're a single traveller, this guy's kind of just doing a little bit of tinkering work. For a cost, of course, Nothing's free in the Commonwealth, is it? But that's kind of your water supply area. And we've got a scavenger sort of station thing going on here. This was more of a gap filler really, just a guy doing a bit of work with some fencing and, you know, some paint work and various other little bits and bobs. Kind of a sort of small carpentry shed thing really. So that's what that was. So that over there, we've got the guard tower, so that is obviously the dish there for summoning settlers. For this little tower here, you would pop yourself up here to where a guard would be sitting. So she's sitting there, keeping an eye out over there, as you can see. Plenty of field of vision. And 34 raider headshots and counting, so she's doing pretty well. And just under this crane here, just a little bit more scrap. And in here we have a lavatory, or an outhouse, whichever you prefer to call it. Very bog standard, but still, gotta go, you gotta go. So what I'll do actually is we'll go back round to the front going this way. Take a good run up through here. So of course we're back at the front. And down here, actually we'll have a look at this bit. This is kind of like a notice board with some bounties and various other bits like that. And then we have the cabin cafe. Not quite a cabin. More of an RV, but we have the dogs there with a little dog house. Every junkyard's got to have a junkyard dog. I've got a couple of them, although that one seems to be going around in circles for some reason.
Hope you ain't one of them synths here to spy on me.
Not at all. So in here we have basically a little bar, and he resides in here as well. So this is kind of his home as well as his little business. Very basic, but it's all he needs. And he never stops complaining. Got his own business, but never stops complaining. So of course that's his little vehicle here. Goes out on his supply runs to get his bits he needs for running his bar. Nerd room, maybe? So this here, this school bus has been, it's a place to stay. So 10 caps for stay and night. You're basically just paying for a bed. And of course leave it how you found it. So very standard, kind of like a hostel kind of situation. Just some bunks, footlocker, a trunk and a little TV kind of down at the bottom. You got your Nuka clock. And of course you got your curtains in there as well. So very basic, but what do you want for 10 caps, you know? Should have mentioned actually that on the right hand side there near the tyre, that's actually the outlet for the sink, and that is the pipes for the stove that's in there. I thought I'd add those just purely to, well, for realism I guess. So you can see there you got the sink on the left and the cooker on the right. I like to add little bits like that just to make it a little bit more realistic, a little bit more believable. There's nothing worse than just having a hole or a toilet somewhere with no obvious pipe work. So this is the guard hut. So 2 basic beds really. Nothing too fancy needed. A couple of lockers and some foot lockers. And then up here, what we have here is the garden, effectively. And this lovely lady tends to the garden for her own use, really. She's kind of the green-fingered one. Currently cooking what looks to be some sort of rotten corn and a stinky fish. And of course, potentially cooking up a rabbit at some point. And then in here, of course, we have another outhouse. Because when you gotta go, you gotta go.
If you ain't been up
Grey Garden. Well, of course, you would be talking about Grey Garden. Oh, I've done it again. I keep leaning my finger on the button, I do apologise. So we have some mud fruit, depends how you want to call it, and a scarecrow. And of course she lives in here. Very basic setup, but of course you've got to have the plants everywhere. Looking all very, it's very basic, but essential. Yeah, not much to it, but it is what it is.
Crops have been growing pretty good lately.
Glad to hear it. So then, of course, we come back out here. A little bit of texture in the ground. I do like to sink things in a little bit just to add to it. So the idea with the boat is obviously we are quite close to the river, just outside Sanctuary there. So why would they not go take the boat out and do some fishing? Catch some of that lovely radiated fish. And then up here we have this train wagon and obviously some trees. The idea of this was basically just to have something a bit different, really. I suppose the idea is being with close to Vault 111, they would be able to pick up some Vault bits. So being a scrapyard, they'd obviously take advantage of as much as they possibly could. So in here they've got all sorts of resources, odds and ends, obviously some Vault-Tec boxes with some suits in there, because why wouldn't you? And then obviously we have this gentleman here who's clearly looking for something.
Yeah.
So various outfits there and boxes and just general bits and pieces, really. So more of a storage room. And as you can see, we've got quite a bit still to look at, but I appreciate you sticking with me this far. So down here we have, which way we go? We'll go this way. So we have the cars. Obviously these would be parts that they would use. I do like to put bits in corners, even though you wouldn't see them. Just kind of adds to it if you catch them corner of your eye. But these cars would be either, you know, done up and made into wasteland cars, or just for spare parts, all that sort of thing. And of course there's all sorts of bits of junk in here which I've had to add bit by bit. Some bits just down the back there, some robot parts, and a little bit of everything, really. What you would probably expect from a typical junk pile. Of course we've got all sorts of bits over this side as well. But I think probably better if we go around this way. Show you what's on the inside before we go all the way around. So obviously this is kind of, I suppose, the reception-ish kind of area. Place where you would kind of come in. This is obviously the workshop with all the spare parts, and as you can see, currently building a chassis with I'm good, thank you for asking. All the bits and bobs you'd find in a workshop, really. This fine lady is working on the engine there. See some spare parts, some doors and a bonnet or a hood, depending on where you're from in the world. Another engine. Yeah, bits everywhere, really. Can't get over that. There we go. Welder, some batteries, chairs, you know, all that sort of thing. As I've said in other videos, I don't like to make huge settlements. I like to make smaller, more detailed ones, preferably. So this is your reception, and this is our, for lack of a better word, I guess, receptionist. But he's kind of a security at the same time. So he's working away there. So you'd come and see him to either purchase or, you know, look at getting a car built or repaired or something. We've got all sorts of tools and equipment and things like that, including some messing around with some robot parts. Because it's a scrapyard, why wouldn't you? Junkyard, scrapyard. I make some apologies for all different places all over the world. We all call it something different. But yeah, this is kind of the inside workshop, I guess. You're making smaller parts and things like that, painting bits.
Need to get back to Diamond City one of these days. Biggest town I ever saw.
Off you go. That's a Nuka-Cola machine from a mod. I can't remember which one, I'll be honest, but I can always find out if anybody is curious. And again, a little corner with all sorts of junk bits in. I do like to decorate the corners you may or may not see, instead of just leaving them empty. Of course, this is our little forklift there, moving some scrap, as well as a big electricity box there, which is part of the generator, which I'll show you in a sec. So again, just a little junk area with all sorts of bits here and there. And then we have the general store, which I'll show you in a second. This is an RV. Should we go in here now? Yeah, we'll go in here now. So these have got all sorts of bits in here. Now this trailer is for 2 people, so 2 people live in here. Very basic again, just basically all you need. I think this was actually part of a mod as well, this one. I've just added loads of bits in there. That is your chemical shower, or your shower to use. So this particular RV is the home of the general trader, which is this lovely lady here.
Another day of hard work. Never changes.
Exactly. So it's she sells some general stuff. Now that bit up there, that is access for cleaning windows and maintenance, which you'll see from the inside shortly. This big thing here on the right, that is the generator. And this guy has got a lot of ammunition and guns and ammo sales, basically. So he's got quite a lot going on there. So those 2 are, in this little story, a couple that live in the little RV there. You've got a load more junk and things. Again, it's just to try and fill gaps and make it look a bit more lived in. Now this up here, this is the trailer to the lorry you can see there, which is in theory supposed to still work. Now this belongs to our weapon gentleman. So this is where he modifies, creates, makes, maintenance, all that sort of thing when it comes to weapons. And of course his storage area. So needless to say, he doesn't. I think I'm really going to have to keep my finger away from that button. But needless to say, he doesn't want people getting in there. That's the only one in the whole settlement, I think, that doesn't have auto doors. Now, of course, I've looked at this as being Red Rocket Garage, rather than just a good old Red Rocket. So again, another vehicle or a couple of vehicles there that would potentially be used for making a apocalyptic vehicle. And of course we have our little yard cat, who originally was actually upstairs in the building there, but for some reason has made his way outside and decided to stay there. So again, more vehicles.
Just point us to the nearest watering hole.
Animatronic, because why not? So I think we can probably make our way up into the building, I would think, because we've more or less seen everything down here. So I don't like the fact that I've got to have the door opening outwards, but I can't have it opening inwards because it clips with the elevator, which is a bit of a pain. So Come on. There we go. And this is basically where the owner lives. Now I'll show you the owner who's upstairs in a moment, but I haven't figured out a name for the guy yet. So if anyone does have any suggestions, please drop it in the comments and let me know. Of course, we've got good old dog meat, who again is usually upstairs, but of course whenever you come to do these tours, people aren't where they're meant to be. And things don't often work the way they should either. But you've probably seen the grebes outside on the building wall, indicating where the fire was. You probably saw the smokestack popping out the top, which is from the open fire there, as well as obviously all the pipes and things for the kitchen and the bathroom, which is upstairs. So we've got a little seating area. I was going to put some magazines in the rack, but then I thought, no, I shall not bother. A little desk area there for our owner to work. And out here is just a little seated area really. Nothing too special. Yeah. Place to sort of sit and drink. Nice views. Now I did put all those trees in across the banks there, rather than all the dead trees. It's not part of a mod. Well, it is a mod because the trees are part of the mod, but they're separate individual placed trees, all the green ones you see. But yeah, just a nice place there just to sit and chill. Now interestingly, I used the warehouse walls, but I also used the barn walls on the inside, so it's double layered, just purely so I could put things on, put things on the walls, plus it looked better. Now you can all probably recognise that voice. Now that is Kate. Looks a little bit different in mine obviously, but that is her, I assure you. She's just having a chill there. Lovely views all around, of course. Oh, thanks for that. So in here we've got the bathroom. So I kind of figured that, again, being so close to Sanctuary, why would it not have salvaged parts from Sanctuary? So of course we've got the tiled walls and the sink and what that was, the sink and everything else, and the shower and stuff would all be salvaged from there. And then we've got basically the bedroom area. So that's Dog Meat's bed right there. He does actually come up and use it. As I say, he's normally laid down in it, to be honest, but the one time I press record and he decides he's going to traipse around downstairs, so it's up to him. Of course, we've got the models there across the top of the bed. And a nice, lovely views across there to the water tower. And place to sit and watch the view, and this is the guy, so he actually runs the place. So we can get past him. So this is him there. So if you have any ideas what to call him, let me know. As I said when I was down the bottom there, I did say this obviously balcony is for maintenance and cleaning the windows. A bit of storage up there, just because why not waste this? Why, don't waste the space. Of course. I wouldn't recommend doing that. Either one. And there's good old little Dog Meat again. So yeah, that's his main house. So we'll make our way back down. So most of the doors on the settlement are the auto close doors on the auto door mod, which is also very handy because most of the time the settlers love to open doors and just leave them all open. Unfortunately, it doesn't work on the red rocket doors because that's if you watch the scrapping video, you'll know that this has been repaired through another mod that allows you to repair different buildings across the Commonwealth in settlements, which is always handy. especially those really awkward ones that you can never seem to repair. But I think that's pretty much us. So let me know what you think in the comments. I did have much more planned, but I've kind of got to the point where I'm thinking that's about enough. But yeah, so drop a comment, drop a like. If you haven't already, please do subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Stay safe in the wasteland. See you later.